He was supposed to be the guy in Miami, the missing piece, the weapon that would finally push the Dolphins into true contender status. And for a while, it looked like that was exactly what was happening. Tua Tagovailoa flourished. Defenses scrambled to contain Hill's game-breaking speed. Miami's offense was among the most explosive in the league. But things change fast in the NFL. 1 minute, you're the face of a franchise. The next, you're the subject of trade rumors that just won't go away. And right now, Hill is right there, stuck in the middle of uncertainty, speculation, and maybe, even if no one wants to say it out loud, a little doubt about whether Miami truly wants to move forward with him. The trade talk started as background noise, but kept getting louder. His numbers in 2024? Not bad, but not him. 81 catches, 959 yards, 6 touchdowns. Not enough to silence the critics. Not enough to justify the headaches that sometimes come with having Tyreek Hill on your roster. Then there was the late-season drama, the tension, the frustration, and finally, that moment, pulling himself from the regular season finale, the trade demand, the apologies that followed. So where does that leave the Dolphins? Listening. Not shopping, but listening. And if the right offer comes, they won't hesitate. The Dolphins knew what they were getting when they traded for Hill. There was never a question about his talent, but there was always something, a little extra baggage, a little unpredictability. Back then, it was an easy trade-off. He was arguably the most dangerous receiver in football, a human cheat code. But 2024 wasn't that. A borderline 1,000-yard season is still valuable in the NFL. But does Miami need Hill the way they once did? Jalen Waddle is there. Younger, less drama, still ascending. A legitimate WR1. Maybe it's time. Maybe the Dolphins can afford to move on. But if they do, where does Hill land? Because despite everything, despite the noise, the antics, the slight dip in production, teams will want him. They always will. He's still Tyreek Hill. He's still that guy in the right situation. If any team knows what Hill brings to the table, it's Kansas City. Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes. The system that turned Hill into the nightmare matchup he became. When the Chiefs traded him to Miami, it wasn't about performance, it was about business. And Hill, for all his bravado, never burned that bridge. Yes, Kansas City just invested in Xavier Worthy, the next great speedster. But do they trust Rashee Rice after his off-field issues? Do they believe Worthy, a rookie, can immediately be the guy? Or would they welcome Hill back with open arms, ready to reload for another Super Bowl run? Make no mistake, Mahomes would love it. The fan base would embrace it. And Hill, he'd be stepping right back into a system built for his skill set. Washington wasn't supposed to be in the NFC Championship game last season. Rookie quarterback, first-year head coach, a roster that had been 4-13 the year before. And yet, they were right there, defying expectations. But what now? Terry McLaurin is great, but he can't do it alone. Jaden Daniels is the future. And what better way to accelerate his development than giving him a receiver like Hill? A receiver who, even at this stage, can turn short gains into long touchdowns, who still demands defensive attention, who can elevate an offense from good to elite. The Dolphins, if they're truly moving Hill, would likely prefer an NFC trade partner. The Commanders make sense. The timeline fits. The need is there. Carolina, a team that should probably focus on defense. A team still figuring itself out, but also a team that can't ignore its offense forever. Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker, Jatavian Sanders, young players with potential. But potential doesn't win games. Not yet. Adam Thielen, still reliable but slowing down. And Bryce Young, he needs help. Desperately. Hill isn't a long-term fix for Carolina, but he's a right-now fix. The type of player who makes life easier for a young quarterback. The type of player defenses have to plan around. Could they pull it off? Would they even try? The reality is, this situation is layered. It's not just about production, or locker room chemistry, or salary cap numbers. It's about timing. It's about where Miami sees itself in this moment. If they're all in on making another run at the playoffs, keeping Hill makes sense. He still terrifies defenses. He still has the ability to shift a game in an instant. But if they're thinking about long-term sustainability, about getting younger, More flexible, less volatile? Then moving on becomes an option. What kind of offer would it take? A first-round pick? A high second and another piece? Miami won't give him away for nothing. But if a team comes knocking with the right package, that door is already open, just enough for something to happen. Nothing is imminent. Miami isn't in a rush. But the fact that they're even considering it, that tells you everything you need to know.